So this week I've been trying to increase the variety and challenge myself a bit with my lunches. Really appreciate the suggestions that people gave me for lunch ideas. That helped a lot, and so I tried a lot of different things this week. As I mentioned in an earlier video, I've been trying really hard to use this lockdown period productively for my recovery and take it as an opportunity to step my recovery up a little bit, because I'm so sick of my eating disorder and just want it to be gone. The first lunch I had was a cheese toastie and some chips, which is something that I have had in the past, but I think there are two things that are challenging about it. One is that having the chips with a cheese toastie is more than what previous meal plans that have been given to me tell me to have, and so it feels like I'm having too much, even though it's not, because if that's what my body wants, if that's what I'm craving, then that's what I should have. Like, a meal plan is always just a minimum, and it is okay, it's good to have more than your meal plan. And I'm not on a meal plan anymore, but those portion sizes still stick in my mind. That was one aspect of it that was challenging, and then the other aspect was having chips, which I haven't had for a while. I wouldn't call them a fair food because they were at one point and I ate a lot of them and challenged them, but recently I think my brain has kind of flipped with certain foods and thinking that, well, I'm a healthy weight now, so you don't need to keep eating those foods. Like, those foods were fine when you were gaining weight, but now stop. That's just another eating disorder trick, because food is not just for gaining weight. I don't have to be underweight to deserve to eat chips. Like, these are forever foods that I can enjoy for the rest of my life, and I don't need to start restricting them because I'm a healthy weight. I put it like that because my weight might still go up. So I honestly find it really hard to focus after challenging myself, even just a little bit. Like, I don't know, I've had eggs on toast quite a lot, but I guess just making the fried eggs, putting in more oil than I would usually do, putting the butter on the toast, I don't know, just has flipped my mind a little bit and feeling a bit anxious about it, but I know that I can sit through the anxiety and I don't have to do anything to try and reduce it. I don't need to compensate. I don't need to exercise or anything like that. The anxiety will go away on its own. I just have to give it time and try and find something engaging enough to distract myself, but also something that doesn't require too much cognitive effort, because as I said, I find it really hard to focus. So I'm just watching some videos for an online course right now, but trying to go easy on myself. Probably won't get much study done this afternoon, but it's okay. I know in the long term that it's a good thing to put recovery first, and using this time in lockdown to challenge myself to things is the most productive use of my time. Because recovery is what allows me to live, what allows me to study and enjoy life, and it's just more important than anything else. So And then the day after that I had a wrap with egg and hummus, aioli, chips again I think. And that again was a challenge because when I was in treatment I was always just served a wrap and that was all, and it never satisfied me. Like even if it filled me up, it just, like, I don't find a wrap on its own satisfying mentally, I guess. And so that's why I added the chips, which felt a bit scary, but then I was satisfied and I really enjoyed it. So I just had lunch. So a couple of people suggested to me to try a wrap and I wasn't too keen on that. I think because I was often served wraps when I was in treatment, and I would be served one wrap for lunch and I was never satisfied. And so in my head I thought, well, if that's what they gave me in treatment when I was trying to gain weight, then that's like I shouldn't have any more than that today. But it never satisfied me, just one wrap. Like, I don't know, I just feel like that's a really lousy lunch. So I had the potato chips with it, and I'm really glad that I did because it was a nice lunch. I really enjoyed it. Like, and it was way more satisfying, and like, who cares if it was more than a wrap on its own, like more calories or whatever. Like, I don't care. My body can handle it. My body will use that for energy and it needs it, and yeah, it doesn't matter. So yeah, having said that, I do feel a little anxious about it now, but I have some things to do this afternoon. I have a therapy appointment, so that will be good, and I am proud of myself for doing that and challenging that fear. So yeah. The day after that was a bit more challenging because I planned to make like a bibimbap, which had been suggested to me, but I could not find the ingredients. So lunch today feels a bit more challenging because I'm very aware that I'm making something challenging for dinner tonight, and I still have to eat lunch anyway. Skipping lunch would not help. But then when I started making lunch, I couldn't find the ingredients for the first thing I was going to make, nor for the second thing I was going to make. So I'm making a third thing, a sticky mushroom and rice dish, which is fine. It will still be nice, but yeah, that was a bit stressful. And yeah, just feeling a bit anxious about it, but it'll be okay, it will pass. And so I ended up making like a sticky teriyaki mushroom dish with like rice, and I squeezed mayonnaise over the top, which made it a little bit more challenging, but that has been the aim for the week, is that everything should feel a bit challenging, because that's the only way to get rid of my eating disorder, is to challenge it and prove it wrong, prove it that these foods are delicious and good and nothing bad is going to happen. So I'm gonna go make dinner now, which is a bit scary, and I'm kind of just looking forward to getting it done and over with. As Nixie says, food is just food. So I just went to the supermarket and it was pretty tough today. I do not enjoy supermarket shopping sometimes. Just the thoughts of, don't get this bread, get this other bread, because that bread, that's too many calories. You can't have that bread. And why are you getting chips? You can't eat chips. Why are you getting chocolate bars? You don't deserve to eat chocolate bars. And then with the whole COVID thing, like if there are people in front, well, if there are people in front, you need to socially distance, so just skip getting that, don't get that. And then if the supermarket doesn't have something that I need for a meal, then that just causes a bit of a freak out, because it's like, well, that was a core ingredient, what am I going to make instead? But I managed to get most of the things that I needed, so I'm glad that it's done. By Friday, I was feeling quite a bit better about this challenge that I set for myself, because I'd done 4 days already and nothing bad had happened. Actually really enjoyed having the variety, and so on Friday I made corn and carrot fritters and I had them with sour cream and sweet chili sauce, and those were really delicious too. Comparing this lockdown so far to the last lockdown that I was in several months ago, I definitely feel much better about how I'm approaching my recovery, and I feel like lockdown is more bearable because of it, because like although I can't do certain things for my study, I can further my recovery during this time, and that's even more important to me. In the afternoons I did feel very anxious, and so like I sort of just rolled the afternoon out in terms of work. Yeah, I didn't get as much study done during the week, but that's okay. I don't have to be productive with study all the time, and although the anxiety is never enjoyable, it does pass, and I am really proud of myself for trying different things and proving to myself that I can eat tasty cooked meals at lunch and nothing bad happens. My eating disorder can shove off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are keeping safe and continuing to fight your eating disorder. Lots of love. Bye.